Okay, we're gonna watch it. We're gonna watch the brutal 92% decline of Jelly.
Of his audience in only 2 years. Did the content become repetitive, boring, and unremarkable? Did he become too focused on unimportant things?
He's a phantom. Danny Phantom.
Years. Did the content become repetitive, boring, and unremarkable?
Does that
Did
not
he
sound
become
like
too
that?
focused on unimportant things outside of YouTube? Or was his decline the direct result of Jelly's highly successful trio eventually coming to an end? We're going to provide a step-by-step
I didn't watch any Jelly. I knew Kwebbelkop was popular.
So well, which is most easily
I've never watched any
if we
Jelly.
discuss how he became successful in the first place. When Jelly created his first video on the 3rd of June 2014, he had already been making videos for around 3 years on 2 prior channels, and as a result he had already built up some fairly significant skills. For example, Jelly clearly understood the basics of branding, with almost every thumbnail featuring a clear element of green.
That's one thing I took away. I studied
his first line of merch only 3
Jelly,
months after
Slogo,
Crainer,
and
the point at which
Kwebbelkop
things began to
for a
get
little bit.
serious was when Jelly became 1/3
Their branding
of what
is
came
second
to be
to none.
known as the Robust Trio. In the beginning of the group, the only 2 significant members were Jelly and Kwebbelkop, who had already created a couple of viral uploads.
It's me and Jelly, and we were playing on, like, this is crazy viral video. 14 million views.
Kwebbelkop then explained that he and
I
Jelly
just never
realized that they
understood the
could go
point. Like,
viral
I
by
feel like
simply having
anybody
a
could have
fun
made
time
these videos.
together, which became significantly
anybody did,
easier
but
after
those
the
got
2
popular.
announced that they were moving into a house together.
Me and Jordy are checking out a place. This is the place where me and Jordy are hopefully gonna live.
And while Jelly and
that's
Kwebbelkop
no
were already
hate,
getting
it's
insane
just
views as a duo,
I've seen a million
it would be
videos
after
like
adding
it
a
that weren't
third
that
member
good,
that things
and
began
those
to
videos
get
weren't that good,
crazy.
in my opinion.
Slogo Man, or Slogo, appeared on Jelly's channel for the first time in a video titled Sailing with Monster Trucks, and after this video received an above average view count, Slogo became a regular part of the group. Since they play GTA 5 more than any other game, they'd collaborate and grow together in almost every single
There's
video.
one thing I
With
hate
Josh
about
there was
YouTube
a
collabs, and this
much
has happened to
better
me,
chemistry.
where
Jordy is always the
I collaborate
one
with
who's
somebody
probably
new.
The best at the game. Josh is always the annoying one. And
I
I'm
collaborate
always
with
the one
somebody
that
new,
rage quits.
and if it
I feel
doesn't
like
work
that's
out, they never talk to me
chemistry.
again.
It works very well.
Which resulted
Or
in
if it
Jelly
does really
reaching
well,
1 million
hey, what's
subscribers
up? You
only
wanna do
12
another
months after
thing?
creating his channel.
Yes! I saw it! I saw it, baby!
Meanwhile, Jelly, Kwebbelkop, and Slogo were
Trust me
becoming
when I say
closer
nobody
and
I
closer
interface with
friends
now is
every
like
single
that.
day.
And I'm
And in
so
the meantime,
thankful.
just having banter,
Nobody's
just
a
roasting
clout
each
chaser.
other, and we were very close friends. Like, we spoke to each other every day. You know, we were there for each other every day. We knew everything about each other. It was just so much flippin' fun.
With the fun nature of the content helping them to innovate into making real-life videos.
We can do videos together in real life, and people like that even more. This one is 23.5 million views.
As mentioned by Kwebbelkop, some of their real-life videos performed unbelievably well, such as this simple 5-minute Q&A on Slogo's channel, which
I'd
to
love
this
to
day
do
has
IRL
received
content
over
with people.
17 million
That'd be so fun.
views. Over on Jelly's channel, almost every vlog he'd post was equally popular, and as a result, Jelly passed 5 million subscribers only a year after hitting
This is
1
like
million.
really quick growth.
By
This is like a
2019,
year.
Jelly was gaining well over
what
200
they're looking
million
at.
views every single month, helping him to receive his diamond play button and purchase a $6.5 million property in Monaco. However, while it was clear that Jelly was in a better spot than ever, 2019 would also mark the point at which the Robust Trio began to fall apart.
Damn.
While Jelly and Slogo continued to collaborate on numerous different gaming videos, Kwebbelkop instead began to focus on reaction content and therefore began to appear in fewer and fewer of Jelly's videos. The Robust Trio
Hold on,
was
guys, I gotta
dissolving
react
in front
harder.
of every to appear gaming videos. Kwebbelkop instead began to focus on reaction content and therefore
Oh my
began to
god!
appear
He
in
said it! That's what I'm doing!
videos.
Oh!
The Robust Trio was dissolving in
Oh!
front of everybody's eyes, but it didn't actually have all that much of an impact.
Look,
on Jelly's
there's a
videos,
line on the
which
screen,
eventually
let's
only continued to
go!
grow after Kwebbelkop left. By taking a quick look over Jelly's content at the time, we can see that he still had an abundance of different games to play. He was constantly innovating with new ideas, titles, and thumbnails. Plus, in January 2020, Robust became a trio once again after Kwebbelkop was replaced by a YouTuber named Crainer, who had the most subscribed channel in all of Denmark. 3 months after Crainer joined, Jelly was able to achieve his highest monthly view count ever.
When I
at
became aware of these
511 million
people
in May 2020. However, you don't have to be an expert in data analytics to see that
I was like,
after
huh,
May
Kwebbelkop's
2020,
content is very
something
similar
began
to these
go
guys.
horribly wrong.
Gee, I wonder why.
Now, we should begin by stating that there was unavoidably going to be some kind of decline from his 500 million view high point, as almost every gaming YouTuber was going through this same early 2020 viewership surge as a direct result of the pandemic. So if we ignore these views which had come about from people simply being at home, the real decline of
the
Jelly
time in
began
which they
early
initiated actually grew was
2021.
like
To cut Jelly some
there's
further
no
slack, we
big,
should also
there's
highlight
no
that
like big
Minecraft, Among Us,
YouTubers.
and
Everybody
GTA 5,
watched like
the
a
three
million
main
different
games that he was
people.
making videos on at the time of his decline, were
Except for
well
like
past their
PewDiePie and
peak
Markiplier
popularity on
and
YouTube,
maybe
therefore you
Jack
could definitely make the
Jacksepticeye,
argument that the
maybe.
first reason for Jelly's viewership decline
I don't
was
know
that
anybody
people were
who's
simply
actually
getting
watched
bored of watching these
Jacksepticeye on his
games, which
own.
is a problem still faced by the gaming genre today. There haven't been any hugely popular game releases after Among Us in February 2021, which was basically the same month where Jelly's views began to decline. Therefore, the most popular games that Jelly can play are Roblox, Among Us, Minecraft, and GTA 5, all of which are years beyond their peak in popularity. Jelly has clearly noticed this problem himself, judging from one of his tweets reading, "Can GTA 6 just be released already?" with a possible motive for this being that Jelly is tired of playing the same old games on his channel. This might also provide an explanation for why Jelly's content has become a lot more repetitive and far less innovative. Back when his views were exploding in 2019, Jelly was pushing the absolute limits in terms of ideas, thumbnails, and titles, which, as mentioned previously, was aided by the abundance of different popular games.
I
These
mean,
days, however, it feels as though
at
Jelly
this
isn't
point,
pushing
if your
the
channel's
boundaries
dying,
in
you
the
should
same
do the
kind
things
of
you want to
way.
do until
the
you find
ideas,
the thing that
thumbnails, and
works
titles
again.
feel almost identical to where they were 3 years ago, but they're now being applied to less popular games. Then there's the problem of the content itself, which in all honesty just doesn't feel like there's that much effort going into it. Sure, the editing on each video is fantastic, but they give off the vibe that Jelly's just played some random game for 30 minutes, sent the footage off to his editor, and taken the rest of the day off. Now, I'm sure that this certainly isn't the case, but for some inexplicable reason,
truth
Jelly
be
gives off
told,
the vibe that he isn't as committed
that
to the
is
content
kind
as
of the
he
meta.
used to be, which is an absolute necessity
People
for
make-
the growth of a channel.
people will
It's no
make
coincidence that a
multiple
creator like
channels
Mr.
doing the
Beast
exact
is
same thing.
constantly going out of his way to reiterate that he
especially
wants to
now
be
with like
doing YouTube for at
VTubers or
least
like
another
AI
decade.
voiceover.
He's signaling to the
shit.
audience that
People
he's in
have-
it for the long
there are
run,
people
and he
who
knows that
are
as
the
soon as you
same
stop
guy
committing to your
recording
YouTube channel,
5 different
the audience
videos
will
on
as
5
well.
different channels and
Meanwhile,
sending
Jelly
them
does
off to
the
5
opposite
different
to this by
editors.
stating that he sees his own
And
channel
just
as being
they're
dead.
just sitting there
I'm not
playing the
on this
game,
list.
reacting
Where on
hard.
this list do I belong? I'd consider myself pretty dead. Hey, I consider myself to be in the dead category.
All right, hold on,
right?
hold on. Let's write his tier list. Kings and Queens, Jack. Who is that? Is that Jacksepticeye? Dan TDM. I've never watched this shit. I always thought it was boring. Smosh. They get the Legacy Award. That's it. Ryan Higa, Legacy Award. That's about it. I don't. Does he even make stuff anymore? Quality Content Ninja. Okay, this has to be old. Meh. The Pauls, Sniper Wolf. I don't know what category she should be in. She's certainly not dead, but she's certainly not quality content. So yeah, meh, sure. David Dobrik. I don't know. I think he's dead YouTuber now. Anyways, should delete the channel. I don't know who that is. I don't know who. Oh, Watch Mojo. Watch Mojo's okay. I'd call it meh. I could call it quality. Dead. I think that's popular MMOs, I believe. Yeah.
I'll chill with you over there.
And to make things even harder for himself, Jelly makes it very obvious that he's distracted by unnecessary things from outside of his channel. Now, we're going to make a point that's somewhat similar to the one made in the Kwebbelkop video, being the foolishness behind sharing a luxury lifestyle to social media, although we're going to approach it from a slightly different
I've never
angle,
understood that
because
shit.
if anything...
I've never understood that shit, right? Where people, they make a bunch of money and then they want to go live it up. I did that when I was young, right? Or I'm still young. I did that when I was 17 and I first came into my first real money, right? But I had more Amazon boxes than I had actual things I wanted, right? And it was just to a point where I didn't really have an acquired taste for, I didn't acquire a taste for anything like watches or cars or anything. Like this shit happened so quickly and I was still the same degen. I was just happy to not have to have a job. You know what I mean? I don't know. I was just happy that I didn't have to I didn't have to worry about where I was employed or if I was employed. You know what I mean? I don't know why people do all that shit. I live in a, $2,000 a month apartment in a nice area and I order food for every meal. That's luxury to me. I don't know why the fuck people buy things. You know, it doesn't make me happy.
It's worse in the case of Jelly, as he's so obviously distracted by ego-related purchases. In early 2021, during
this
the
thing
same
I don't
time period where
understand
his
at
views
all.
began to decline rapidly, Jelly announced that he'd purchased a $10 million boat.
At the start of this summer, I actually ended up buying myself a nice boat.
In the very same video, Jelly explains that he's also
Cool.
purchased a green Lamborghini Huracan
I also bought a Lamborghini.
to go with his already existing Lamborghini Urus, and in September 2022, Jelly posted another video explaining that he's bought an abandoned mansion, which looked as though it needed a fair bit of work and a lot of time away from being committed to YouTube.
It's a bit of a mess. I didn't make.
I mean, yeah, fair enough.
So why is
Real
this a
estate's fine.
problem?
I see so
A
many
car with your
business
branding
people
on
get
it, probably
burned.
fine.
And what they
Maybe
do
not something
is
that
they
nice, or maybe,
start making some
I don't know.
money, and then their lifestyle just creeps and it grows into this massive hungry beast that then consumes them. And what you've got to be very careful with is you can't let
Yeah.
the byproducts of your thing distract you from your thing.
This is a principle
Yep.
that someone like Mr. Beast understands perfectly. He's always voicing his disdain for luxury and anything that removes the focus from the growth of his channel. On the other end of
Luxury's
the
nice.
spectrum, you have someone
It's
like Jelly,
nice. It's
who
nice
seems
to have
to
a
be
nice
searching
car.
for distractions, and it's clearly having an impact on his
Yeah.
ability to produce top
I see
quality
that.
content.
Yeah, I mean
For
that's
example,
the
in
thing.
July
I think that
2022,
encapsulates
Jelly
it.
uploaded
Is
a
you get
video
burnt out
titled
from
"This
doing the
Isn't Working
thing
Out,"
that
in
made
which
you
it explained that
successful.
after many
So you
years, he
try
was no longer
to
able to produce 2
justify
videos
that
per
thing
day, and was instead
by
going to start
using
releasing
the
just
byproduct
one.
of it, or using the
Starting
earnings
now,
from that
I
to
am
get to obtain distractions from it.
This was justified by Jelly stating that the quality of each video should increase.
It's like getting a raise at a job you hate, and then buying,
That's my goal. If I can
buying
spend
a new
more
car.
time on a video, that video will turn out better.
Although the quality didn't actually change much after posting this, meaning that Jelly was simply uploading half as often as before, with minimal change to the substance of the videos. Then there was the collapse of the Robust Trio, but for the second time. We mentioned earlier that Quebblecop, who had close to 15 million subscribers, left the trio in 2019, but was instead replaced by Denmark's most subscribed YouTuber called Craner. Well, Craner continued to play with Jelly and Slogo for roughly 2 years. However, like Quebblecop, he also began to appear in fewer and fewer videos. In May of 2022, fans noticed that Jelly and Slogo had removed any mention of Craner in their video descriptions, leading everybody
Wow.
to believe that Craner had been kicked from the trio. Well, 4 months
Fake
later,
friends.
Craner would take to his YouTube community tab to make the following announcement.
Uh-oh.
Too many theories out there about why I'm not recording with the guys anymore, and I thought although I always like to keep private, why not just address it so people don't get the wrong idea? Jelly and Josh are great people and I wish them the best. Last year and also somewhat into 2022 was the toughest time I've gone through. I lost my dad, came out of a long relationship with my ex-wife around the same time too. As most of you know, this resulted in me not recording for weeks or a month at a time. The guys were very understanding and sweet. However, no drama happened. I didn't use them to garner attention
Okay.
and leave. And for
Based.
people saying I just use them for views, wouldn't it make a lot more
Okay,
sense
based.
to stay recording with 2 of the biggest creators on the platform? I think so. I wanted to change and I wanted to do my own thing for once. This post not only confirmed the
Okay.
end of the trio, which had
Yeah,
made Jelly
fair.
so successful in the first place, but it also felt like the death of innovation and authenticity on Jelly's channel. The Robust Trio represented a time when Jelly seemed passionate about making videos, as is highlighted in old
Yeah,
comments
true.
such as, I enjoyed it more when they were actually having fun instead of just acting for family friendly.
Yep.
However,
Yep.
while this comment represents
That-
the
that
tragic
is so
decline
many
of a
YouTubers.
much-loved
There is
content
so many
creator,
YouTubers.
it simultaneously shows just how much of an
I feel
impact
like
these
because
three
of all the
legends
family
had
friendly
on the
stuff,
content
the
creation
less
sphere and
family
the lives
friendly
of
stuff
millions.
is more popular, or it's easier to grow that way, right? That's what I see with like a lot of the WL community on Twitch. All right, cool video, cool. Sunny V2, everybody.